Welcome to the tutorial on setting up speed filters. As a prerequisite, you need to have created a map of your environment first, and that map we're going to copy and the name for our speed filter. You can just copy and paste it like I'm doing now, and you rename it. To rename it, I'm just going to add speed at the end of it, so we recognize that that's for the filter. We do the same for the YAML file for the map we've just copied. Then once we do that, okay, mind you, also adding speed at the end of it. Then we open the copied map using the GIMP editor, and first thing we want to do is get our rectangular select tool, and we draw on the region on the map where we want our speed zone or speed limits to be. Once we've done that, we look at our colors, and we set red, green, and blue to 50 each. We want to drop the color by to drop the speed by 50%. Then we take our paintbrush tool and we just paint in the region we've selected. It's as easy as that. Once that's done, we go to our file and we just overwrite the map. Next, we go to our YAML file where we'll be doing some edits. Remember, we changed the name of the map for the speed filter. We added speed at the end, so would do the same here. Then for the mode, would be changing it from binary to scale, and would also be changing the occupied and the free threshold from to 1.0 and 0.0 respectively. Make sure you put them as decimals because that's the file, that's the format for that field. Then next we should be heading on to VS Code. This is our file system is going to be for our config files, launch and map. Then we start with our parameter files for the speed filter. There's a companion blog for this, so you can just have a look at it in the description. All the codes are there, so paste this in. We have our filter info topic and our mass topics. Make sure the mass topics are the same. Then we go into our configuration file for Nav2, and we need to add speed filter. We've added that. That's one of the plugins. Then we go to the bottom, we put in, we set the parameters there, and remember our info topics and our speed limit topics. We set them here, and going ahead, would be looking at the enable path look ahead. That just means your robot slows down before it gets to its speed filter, because by default, if you set this to false, it gets on the speed filter zone, on the speed zone before it drops its speed, and the maximum deceleration we have is minus 0.5. Then the look ahead distance when it starts reducing its speed is capped within the minimum and the maximum look ahead. And next we should go to our controller server where we set speed limit topic. Just a single line handles that. Going forward, we go to our launch files, and for our launch file we just paste this in. Then let's go to the top. There are a few changes you might have to make here. For instance, let's look at the path to our speed max. That's the YAML file we edited after editing the map on GIMP. Just make sure yours is here, and the navigation package part, that's the part to your package where you're setting up the speed filter. Then take note of lines 76 to 79. You'd also have to edit the directory there. I didn't show that in this video. Then up next is the enable speed zone parameter. It helps us enable or disable the speed zone or speed filter from our launch file. You could also do the same from the terminal and launching the launch file. That's all. Also, I want you to take note that I didn't use the look ahead. I set it to false, but it's not shown here. Now, let's go to our terminal. Let's build our workspace and source it, and let's wait for that to get done. Yeah, almost there, and we're there. Now let's launch our robot. I'm opening two more terminals. Then yeah, I'm back here to launch my robot in its world. In navigation, in the launch file, navigation is also enabled and everything, so make sure yours is also the same. You have Nav2 up and running in the localization mode. Yeah, So yeah, this is my world. Everything is up. Then next I launch the speed filter, launch file. Then yeah, let me also echo the cmdvl, and also on the map topic, let's select the speed max filter. So you can see there's our speed max. Now just take note, I've given it a goal location. Look at the velocities, the linear x velocity. Yeah, once it gets into that speed max zone, it drops to half of its initial velocity, and once it goes out of that zone, it goes back up. That shows you that outspeed zone is our speed filter is working fine. Yeah, that's it. So thank you. I hope this was helpful to you. Bye.